All right, here we go. What's up, guys? How we doing today? It's Waffle Boy Cubed. Just wanted to see about the new 9.5 season update. It's coming this Friday, so might as well take a look at the adjustments and talk about it a little bit. Still trying to get to Diamond right now. We've been kind of stuck Plat 1, though I've been kind of busy last week, so I wasn't able to play as much competitive as I needed to. Just personal stuff. But wanted to go over this and just give a quick review, really. So we'll see what's going on here. Adjustments. The tactical landscape is consistently shifting, and a new wave of priority adjustments is on the way. Wolverine's rage gains aggressive momentum. Moon Knight is bouncing his shape, sharp, pointy things with more style, and Penny Parker's control is getting a little less sticky. Review the changes below, prepare for deployment. Here's the breakdown. Okay, sounds like they're giving my boy Wolverine a little bit of a buff. I know he's been down lately in the win rate statistics, but this one looks fun. Devil Dino. Our prehistoric pal is beefing up a bit and making a big splash where he teams up, increasing maximum health percentage damage dealt by the first 4 attacks of Frenzy Feast from 5 to 8, and the 5th attack from 10 to 12. When selecting to team up with Jeff the Land Shark, increase Surf and Turf's maximum duration from 4 seconds to 5 seconds, and the healing effect on allies from 40 to 60. Alright, sounds pretty good. I like that max percent health damage. Sounds like he'll be chomping a little bit more, because I know he does percent health damage, right? Yeah, specifically. So he'll be able to chew through basically the enemy team a little bit better. I like that. Team up with Jeff, I mean, it's not the team up that I personally like using. I think the one that gives him the little auto turret so he has more range is better. But the fact that it has more healing probably means people will probably give it a better shot. Maybe there could be a thing where Devil Dino can instead play more like aggressively in the front line, play him closer back, and heal up your teammates, And I think comparing that with your ult 2, like there's just a massive frenzy of people, say it's really like a messy type of neutral battle and everyone just in the same vicinity, that could work out. You're able to heal with that Jeff team up better while using your ults. So we'll see how that goes. Still like him. I still think it's a coin toss when playing against a Dino in competitive. I'm not going to say it's a guaranteed win, but that's it. More impressed about the bite. Next off, we got going to the right here, Doctor Strange. Sorcerer Supreme is manifesting more mystical munitions and spinning Maelstroms even faster with the Green Goliath. Increasing Daggers of Denek single hit damage from 16 to 18 and projectile charges from 10 to 12. When selecting to team up with Hulk, reduce Gamma Maelstrom's cooldown from 8 seconds to 6 seconds. So that's just going to be a flat DPS buff, essentially. Seems they're going to give him more darts, and they're going to do more damage, because I'm not going to lie, I think the projectile is a little slow, but he's supposed to be like the big boy shield tank, so damage really was never his primary function. If you ask me personally, I feel like he's more of big tank push up and your team sees the big shield, so they just follow along. But giving him more DPS, nothing wrong with that. I tend to play tanks a little bit more than any other position or Vanguard, so I like that a lot. And yeah, his Gamma Maelstrom, I mean, that's just his best team up, and they just made it stronger. So more Gamma radiation, I guess, for the enemy team. Like to see it. Magneto, my OG here, day 1 OG. We got Mr. Magnetism is adding a little extra lift to his offensive strikes when channeling chaos. When selecting to team up with Scarlet Witch, enhance effects, the metallic chaos projectile hit now adds a minor launch up effect to enemies. Okay, so that is his best team up. When he has the Chaos Blade from Scarlet, Looks like whenever you hit people, it's gonna do some minor CC to it, so it'd be easier for you to chain your projectile sword beam attacks. Honestly, see that really good. I really like where Magneto is right now. He does just enough damage where he can like clean up for your team, but I don't think he's gonna be like a solo tank DPS anytime soon. I still think the biggest thing with Magneto is he is ultimately supposed to be your damage negator. Like his ability, it's less of blocking and more of just negating damage. Technically, if you time his shield just right, you can block an infinity amount of damage. That's why it has such a short duration. It just stops everything in its path. So shout out to Magneto again, OG. If you're ever gonna learn this game, even if you don't play tank, I think you should learn how to play Magneto. He's just such a pivotal point in just the game in general, and he's just so good as a utility type of tank where not knowing how to use him, it will just hurt you more in the long run than ignoring him altogether. Rogue. The Southern Belle is absorbing the hits and keeping her defensive sturdier under fire. Increase the damage reduction multiplier when in defensive stance from 55 to 60, and increase regenerative shield capacity from 25 to 275. So that was one of the things. I forgot which season specifically it was, but I think it was like the season just after Rogue came out. They nerfed her shielding, and I stopped playing her because it felt like her defensive stance just popped too much. And yeah, it's more of a personal defensive shield for her. It's not really a team shield, but she's kind of supposed to be like this diving, not berserker, but more like a juggernaut type character, where she's supposed to get in there, create chaos for the enemy team as much as possible, stir up the fight as much as she can, and then she uses defensive stance to either finish up on a kill or to easily dip out and get to your healers. So I do appreciate that. I might play her a little bit, just some quick play, just to keep warm with her so I don't get absolutely rusty. But I'm not sure if that's enough for me personally to take her to ranked. I'd rather still be playing Magneto, Strange, Devil Dino. For someone like a juggernaut like Rogue, I'd rather play like Thing personally. I'd rather use Thing because if you plan his shield jumpings and his charge ability just right, you should get enough shields and hopefully heals from your teammates to where you can run in, knock up, punch a bunch of people for a good 10 to 20 seconds, and then if you need to, you can just shift and do a full U-turn and you're escaping with an added shield. So that's just me. If I was going to use a type of character like that, if I had to pick Thing or a Rogue, I'd still pick Thing personally. Alright. Next, so it looks like Penny got a lot here. Let's see here. SP's Doctor's Cores plating gets a minor adjustment to sync with the new team-up system, while Penny recalibrates her web shooters to a fairer fight. Dev note, we are slightly weakening Penny's control and survivability, in particular the immobilize effect applied by her cyber web snare was too frequent and oppressive, leading to a poor counter experience for her enemies. We decided to increase the cost of applying this control, but in return we're also increasing the freedom of her secondary. Okay, I mean, he really did have her spider snare. I mean, I would say that's the only reason why you would play Penny Parker. It was just such a great CC. It stops quite a couple of ults. The biggest one for me would be Scarlet, or even a Spider-Man. I think it could stop that one too. So looks like they're changing just how she interacts with her ult fire. Might be weaker, but it sounds like they're gonna make it a little bit bigger, or they're gonna make her use it more often. Sorry. Let's see. Remove the direct immobilization effect upon hitting the enemies with cyber snare. It now applies a stacked web tracer and a 30% slow effect for 1 second. Okay, so literally everything I just said, throw that out the window. It doesn't stun anymore. It doesn't have. It's not a hard CC. They made it a soft CC. So they're slow for 30 seconds, and the web tracers last for 5 seconds, right? If an enemy with a web tracer is hit by the snare again, they will be immobilized for 0.7 seconds. Okay, so you gotta hit them twice within a 5-second span, but that means you'll be able to spam it more, right? Web snare to be a charge-based ability, but with 2 charges. And then reduce bonus health cap provided by Penny's cyberwebs from 200 to 150. So they're hard. That's a hard nerf. Basically, they're increasing the skill floor of Penny. So now you gotta hit your snares back to back, and it's on a charge instead of a timer. So you have to actually now manage her resources a little bit better. And her cyber webs in general, they're just giving less bonus health in general. So that's going to take a little bit of her, I call her like a bunker tank. She's like the only tank that does this, but I consider it a bunker tank essentially. She'll be the only hero, or she is the only hero that can really hunker down in a corner with your team and, batten down the hatches, so to say. So they weakened that from her. It will give more skill expression, Maybe you want to slow down people more often. Say if they had something like, I would say a Jubilee and maybe like a BP. So now you would have to question, like in your mind playing Penny, do I want to save both my snares for a hard CC to counter, an immediate dive? Or is it more important, say, Jubilee uses her shift ability and starts skating around the place, but she's like half HP. Do I want to hold her down? And then I'll save the second one in case, the BP or whoever else might be diving and coming back. So we'll see. There'll be more expression to it. You still have the option to hard CC. They just made it harder. Now you got to aim twice, essentially. Venom. Oh boy, Venom. We are really in the Symbiote's Ravenous Resilience to ensure he has to swing with a bit more strategy. Thankfully, that is good. This is the nerf he needed. Venom is just, if you ask me, I don't want to say, I'll say it. He's the easiest dive to master, honestly. Just because he gets so much overshield. But it looks like reduce the bonus health provided by Symbiote Resilience from 120 of lost health to 110. So yeah, based on the percent health he gets, he was able to basically overheal himself for like 100% of his HP, or 120, now it's 110, and increase Venom swings cooldowns from 8 seconds to 10 seconds. So now when he's diving, he has to make sure he's not just blindly doing it. If Venom is going to be diving down towards people, he needs to realize he just doesn't have an immediate out. I know the tech on some Venom players, they'll just try to hide in a corner, climb up a wall where no one can really see them, and they'll just dive from high above without swinging, so they can immediately swing out whenever they want to. I don't think it's going to affect that strategy too much, which I'd say is more of a higher ceiling, type thing, just being able to sneak around the walls and jumping on people, getting the surprise on them. Because when Venom swings, it's very clearly telegraphed. Everyone's gonna see that, especially if you're swinging down the middle of the map. But I don't think it's gonna affect that, like I was saying. But definitely, just people who just do the normal swing in, get their overheals, wings out, maybe ults in between that. They're gonna feel it more, and maybe that will make Venom players more smart in the long run, which, can be a bit dangerous here. Like I said, I think he's one of the easier. The swing is complicated. I'm not gonna lie. Spider-Man and Venom swings are pretty challenging, but once you get the swing down, I would say Venom is one of the easier dives to put in comp. Mostly just because he's a tank. So he just has the HP, he can make more mistakes. Alright. So that's overall the Vanguards. I like it overall. They only touch what they feel like they need to touch. Again, this is a crazy season. I feel like this is the season where everybody is overpowered in their own particular way, or at least most heroes are overpowered. And there's nothing wrong with that because, we've had seasons where Vanguards were struggling. We've had seasons where DPS were struggling. Healers never struggle. I feel like they always try to fix everything by making healers stronger, but come on, guys. We can fix on that, but that's neither here nor there. I firmly believe that Cloak and Dagger is still half a DPS, in my personal opinion. Anyway, on to the strategists, the supports here. My boy Loki. The God of Stories is hurling his magical armaments with tighter speed and precision. Increased mythical missiles projectile speed from 100 meters per second to 120. Okay, that's straightforward and simple. So they're not touching the strategists too much. Like I said, I think a lot of them are overtuned. Loki is one of the least overtuned ones. I feel like Loki is a very strong. You need to know positioning, like game position. You need to know where to be on the map to effectively play Loki. But Loki's one of those people, if you have someone with god tier map knowledge, you can use Loki as a DPS. People forget his passive is a melee crit if you stab someone in the back. So if you can get in their backline, which as Loki, if you put up one of your doppelgangers, you pretend like you're an NPC, you sneak up there, stab someone in the back, use your lantern to keep healthy while your team supports you. Like, I think he could take out a couple of tanks in like 3 backstabs. I could be wrong on that. Y'all can check me in the comments, but tried playing him a bit, but he just wasn't my speed. But with this increased projectile speed, they're basically just making his hit scan better. I would consider this more of a quality of life than an actual buff in general. Like, if you were already playing Loki, like, your missiles are just gonna land more effectively. You don't need to lead your shot as much. Not bad at all. That of all these things we would consider adjustments, I would say Loki's right here, deadass, is just a straight adjustment. Jubilee. So Jubilation is packing slightly more punch and pop into her radiant, sparkling fireworks. I've been picking up Jubilee lately, so let's see what it is. Increase energy plasmoids, single hit damage from 10 to 11, and single hit healing from 10 to 15. Again, I really love where Jubilee is. I think she does really good. I think specifically, I would like, if you can get an organized team, or say you have a support duo, I truly believe Jubilee is an amazing tank healer. And what I mean by that is, if you put in her little bubble burst, if you throw it like in the middle of the front line and you shoot that, it does a little bit of pot shots at the tank, but really, like, I've been practicing her just the last few days. I kind of haven't touched her all this season. But I really do like the burst output you can give on a tank, especially if they're like down to like their last 10%. She can get them back up to 50 just like that. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty crazy. So, still, that's a pretty decent adjustment. Nothing wrong with that at all. Okay, then only a couple. White Gambit, who got a nerf to the ground, so no one plays him anymore because he did have the best ult in the game. Remy is playing a steadier hand when shifting the battlefield with his magnetic rival. When selecting a team with Magneto, adjust the launch up frequency of the spell field from 0.5 seconds to 1 second. Quality of life, not even going to go into that. It's just going to be, a little slower. Okay. White Fox, my girl, she needs I think she needs a buff, personally, like a direct buff. But we'll see. I feel like they tried to make her like a strategist / melee DPS, which is cool. But before we even touch Wolverine or Black Panther here, Melee DPS are kind of the weakest subclass of characters in this game, if you ask me. Yeah, sure, you have good Daredevils, you have, good Iron Fists, good Black Panthers, good Wolverines. I mean, I think I'm half decent on Wolverine personally, especially with his Gambit team up, just moving that fast. It's fucking beautiful. Without that team up, I don't think I'd play Wolverine in ranked. I wouldn't feel confident at all. But anyway, since they try to make her like a hybrid strategist duelist, in my personal opinion, and because half of her skill set is being the worst subclass in the game, it just makes her, in my opinion, a lower win rate hero. Just in general, like I know for sure she's below 50%, and that's been something people talking about. People do play her because she got the assets, if you know what I mean. But also, she is just fun to play. She really is. And when you unleash the Kumiho, it's pretty cool. You're playing as a giant fox spear, and you just stomp around the team, and you're basically kind of like a half pseudo tank. And you just basically survive until either your tanks come back from spawn, or you just hold a point long enough for your team to properly. All in all, that's how I see White Fox. So let's see what she's actually about. We need to actually talk about what the adjustment is, right? Amihan is stepping fully into the spotlight, unleashing the Kumiho to instantly grace her allies with supernatural favor. Okay? Reduce the energy cost of Kumiho Unleash's ultimate abilities from 4,800 to 4,300, so more ults. That's great on her, honestly. After casting, automatically apply the Blessed by the 9 effect to all allies 10 meters for 3 seconds. Ooh, okay, so I could be wrong. I remember her ultimate. Didn't you have to, when you use one of her tails, you had to aim it, right? You had to point at who you wanted the burst healing to go to. It looks like they're changing it to an AoE heal. I might be wrong here, right? After casting, automatically apply the Blessed by the 9's effects to all allies. Actually, I mean, it's an AoE, so nothing wrong with that at all. So that was it for the strategist. It's pretty simple. Again, strategists. Some people say they're overtuned. I'm fine with that. The point of strategists is they need to have utility. They should have more options in their utility belt. My main option with strategists is people don't know how to use that utility. Spoiler alert, healing's not your only job. I made a short about that, and I might make a video about that after this, ranting about strategists. But you should be doing damage, buddy. If everyone's above 80 HP and there's no immediate threat or damage output on them, long story short, just do some damage. Just do some damage. Aim for the enemy. Pretend you're the DPS for 8 seconds. I promise you, it's not the greatest damage. I mean, some healers, honestly, some strategists, I think, have a lot more damage than they'd like to, imply or talk about. But in general, just do some damage. If we have 6 people pointing at someone's head versus 4, they tend to die faster. All I'm saying. And the best healer is the healer that doesn't need to heal. Team's not hurting. You don't need to heal. Did your job. So you can do your job faster by killing the enemy, in my opinion. Alright, almost done here. BP. T'Challa is putting slightly back on his elemental ferocity to better conserve his royal energy. When selecting to team up with Storm, reduce the area damage to enemies from 40 to 30 and increase the cooldowns from 12 to 15. Okay, so that's just a team up nerf, honestly. I think that was his better team up. Especially if you had 2 healers playing patty cake with each other. He would just blow them up with that area damage. So that's going to stop him from just easily blowing it up, which is good. Divers should not have, AoE. They shouldn't have too strong AoE ability. I think specifically like BP and Daredevil, you should be focusing on a solo target every time you're diving the backlines. You know, BP, it has that ability where he gets the reset. If he gets the kill, that's his reward. So why double his reward by killing two people at once? I feel like he needs it makes more sense, and it feels better for like his flavor, like for how he's intended to work. If he's killing everyone one by one, it feels more earned. Didn't feel like, oh, okay, he just blew up on us and we all went, we all just lost 30% of our HP, and now we got to play patty cake and hope our tanks turn around in time. Alright, my main man, Logan, Wolverine. Logan is tapping into his rage harder and carrying the animalistic fury longer through the fray. Berserker's Rage Adjustment. Increase rage gain per hit taken from 5 to 8. Adjust rage decay timer from starting after 4 seconds of no rage gain to after 5 seconds. At maximum range, reduce the decay rate from 15 seconds to 10 seconds. Okay, that's pretty good. Basically, they're just giving him more rage. You're going to get your rage faster, your rage is going to last longer, and Wolverine lives by his... You know what I mean? You need to keep that puppy at 100 as much as possible. He gets the most bang for his buck for his passive when he gets his shields, and for his ultimate, his Berserker's Rage. You need his rage up in order to use basically half of his kit. Without that, you're basically just getting minimal, if not zero effects. Alright, also Bloodstone. The Monster Hunt's Trap are slightly less monstrous when paired up with her favorite prehistoric pal. When selecting to team up with Dee Dee, reduce the health of an activated smoky snare trap from 100 to 50, and its control duration from 1.5 to 1.2. Okay, so they're just adjusting the team up with the Double Dino Snare. Yeah, it does less damage, and yeah, it just doesn't hold them down for as long because, Elsa, she really is like a crack shot. Like, if you can get her combo off and land every single shot to the dome, she can, like, if you blow her entire kit on one person, you can accurately do it. You just basically melted like 80% of the entire roster in Marvel Rivals. So it does seem kind of unfair that for almost 2 seconds, you're just standing there for her to just, completely like unload on you. So that's fine. That's a true adjustment. I give that one an A. Hello, my girl. The Goddess of Death is showing a mere sliver of mercy when calling upon the hordes of the deep. When selecting to team up with Namor, reduce Undead Monstro's single hit damage from 15 to 10. That's okay. I guess it was too strong, especially like in bumped up team fights. Having those undead octopus just like, if you get like 2 or 3 of those like in the middle on the point, they really did stack a lot of damage, and Hela would basically just get free kills just for standing there, essentially. I do know in a couple of cases when I was playing Hela, I got a bunch of free kills even after I died, just because I had like 2 Monstros from, clicking heads on their supports, and then that was basically it, like... I'm not gonna say it's unbalanced, because like you had to get those kills to get the Monstro thing. Can you even pop on them? I don't think they're poppable, right? Yeah, when you kill it and you get the undead Monstros, they just stay there for a certain time duration, then they disappear. So that's what it is. Cyclops. Scott's optic blasts are bouncing back faster and blasting harder when Gambit hands him an ace. Increased cooldown reduction provided by Ricochet Force per optic blast hit from 0.15 to 0.025. When selecting to team up with Gambit, increase the concussive beam attack frequency boost from 10 to 15. That's okay, because honestly, his team up ability with Phoenix is the better team up ability. this is just to even the playing field, so players feel like they genuinely have an option, because there actually are a handful of heroes where there just is genuinely a better team up option. Like with Storms, like everyone's like, oh, Jeff Nato, get the team up with the Jeff Nato so we can do Jeff Nato. But you turn Storm into a hit scan with Thor's team up. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, yes, Jeff Nato is powerful, but that involves you not just building up your ult, not just finding the right time to release the ult, but then finding a Jeff that can coordinate with you to find you the right time, not join the last second, wasting the team up ability, and then also staying alive, running into the front lines to jump into your tornado. You get me? There's just already so much friction there when you can just turn Storm, one of the better flyers, honestly, in my opinion, into a hit scan. Like, well, okay, let me rephrase that. She is just the best flyer in the game if she has hit scan ability. There's a reason why flyers don't typically have hit scan. I think Ultron's hit scan, but he's a support and he doesn't do that much damage. But just giving the hit scan to a flyer, like, that's deadly. There's a deliberate reason why flyers are projectile based on, in my opinion. Alright, Phoenix. Jean's cosmetic detonations are sparkling brighter, especially when a certain southern belle is around. Increase the damage dealt when detonating sparks from 35 to 40, and increasing the area damage from 12 to 15. When selecting the team up with Rogue, increase telekinetic beatdown damage dealt from 45 to 55. I really have nothing to say here. It's Phoenix. It just depends on the season if she's the best, if she's like the best, what's it called, poke in the game. And it's really hard to balance her. It's like they take stuff away from her, then she's just trash and no one plays her. Then they tweak her just a tiny amount, and now she's popping headshots and destroying everybody. But right now, I do think she needed this buff. The detonating sparks from 35 to 40 is pretty good, and the area damage, so it's gonna just do more AoE. Like, if you have, I would see this like as a pretty good counter with DD, because Devil Dino's one of those tanks where he really can't push too far up from his team. Like, Devil Dino really needs to be close to his teammates, and he has just such a big hitbox with his head. I can see you doing a lot of AoE damage just by easily clicking on Dino's head, and, you know, kind of just whittling down the enemy team just through attrition with her passive that way. So, pretty good overall. So I would say my hot take as a not yet Diamond player or former Diamond player, if you want to put it that way, Phoenix can be a decent counter for DD. Moving on to Moon Knight. Khonshu's avatar leaps with great grace, and his crescent darts retain more lunar lethality on bounce. Okay, so we're giving him more ricochets. Adjust Crescent Dart and Moonblade's bounce damage decay from 30 to 20 per bounce. Okay. And when selecting the team with Cloak and Dagger, reduce Luminous cooldown from 15 to 12. Increase dash duration from 0.3 to 0.35. And the distance from 12 to 15. Okay, so they gave him stronger bounces on his darts. And then they gave him stronger mobility to escape, because I use the Cloak and Dagger team up. Everyone's like, use the Elsa one, get the damage. But bro, like, you're saying he gets a fourth movement mobility? He can double jump, he gets his cable gun, he can glide, and now he has a dash? Like, you know, like, I feel like with Moon Knight, you want to be as slippery as possible to get into those tricky spaces where you can have an Onk, you know, kind of finish people off. And stop being lazy and shooting your Onks. You lose so much damage that way. I hope you know there's a damage reduction for bouncing off an Onk versus bouncing off a hero. You know, throw the Onk, hit the hero, have it bounce from hero to Onk to hero. You do more damage. Promise. If you've been struggling on Moon Knight. And Moon Knight gains a 3-second healing effect for 20 seconds after leaving the phase state. Oh, so now he gets just 60 HP over time. So yeah, that's a great movement escape tool. Cloak and Dagger, if you ask me, is the best team up he can have. That's the one you want, 100%. All right, and last but not least, you love her, you hate her, it's Scarlet Witch. The Witch's unpredictable chaos magic gains a measure of arcane stability when she allies with the Sorcerer Supreme. So this is Doctor Strange team up. The one that turns her alt fire to a Gatling gun instead of a AoE dart. Base effect, the ability has an 8-second cooldown and 8-second duration. When activated, Catanic Burst is replaced with Mystic Burst, allowing magical missiles to be fired freely with no energy cost, right? We know that. Enhanced effect becomes a toggle type ability. When toggled on, Mystic Burst replaces Catanical Burst, allowing magic missiles to be fired freely with no energy cost. Okay, so they're allowing you to toggle it. Okay, so this was kind of a problem, because like you would have to go into spawn room to switch on and off the Doctor Strange ability, because you would only be able to use the Gatling gun essentially. But sometimes you want the magic missile for the AoE burst, especially if you're doing like a 1v1, you know? The Gatling was more for team fights and for, whittling down tanks. So they're now just giving you the option, it seems, to swap it without having to, waste a whole time either dying or going back to your spawn room and going on and off the Doctor Strange team up. So no, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's everybody, right? So those are the adjustments just before 9.5 drops Friday. I think those are pretty good. Those are all in all really nice. I personally have no notes. These aren't like balances, like major balances. This is just to keep everyone nifty and tight together. Venom, I feel like they could have reduced his healing a little bit more. I think it should be like 90%, not 110. I think it's ludicrous you can heal for more than what you reach, no matter what kind of tank you are. But that's just me. Strategist really didn't get anything crazy. Maybe White Fox got the best thing. They want to see more White Fox play. Wolverine, I wish he had more or faster base speed movement in general. I wish that's something they'll give him. That way I could use his Cyclops team-up ability a little bit more. I tend to use Gambits just for the mobility alone. It's just so much better. Also, his leaping ability, activate Gambits, it makes him fly across the map. So it's just really good for getting back into team fights. Like, I feel like I can take more risky plays, because I know if I die, I can just jump back in with the team in like less than 5 seconds. But that's it. If y'all made it to the end, please do like, subscribe, follow me on Twitch if you're interested. I will be playing more Rivals, and not just competitive, more casual quick play. I'm trying to learn more heroes in general. I'm a flex player, so part of that is learning new heroes and refining what I know about the heroes I know. Overall, if you liked my takes, let me know what you liked in the comments or what I got wrong. But anyway, I really do appreciate y'all tuning in. And, y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all out there probably one day in one of these games. Peace.